Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about technology and society under the Society Law and Ethics unit. Today we are going to discuss two topics under the technology and society. The first and foremost is identity theft, unique IDs and biometrics. And the second one is gender and disability issues while teaching and using computers. So we are going to take it one by one. The first one is identity theft. So what actually identity theft is? Online identity theft is the theft of personal information in order to commit fraud. You used to say that somebody is stealing your personal information to commit fraud. That is identity theft. So in this particular slide, you can see that identity theft occurs when someone uses our identity or personal information without our permission to commit a crime or fraud. So these are the common ways how identity can be stolen. We should be aware about that as a IT students. So first one is that is data breaches. Data breach means you are compromising the data of people. So you may heard about dark web, that your data has been stolen and it is available on dark web. Somebody wants to sell it. They need buyer. Internet hacking. The term is very simple. You can easily understand about it. So your hacking is possible through internet. Your data may be lost. It may be still away. Malware activity means somebody is executing malicious program to steal your sensitive data. That is malware activity. Credit card theft, the personal information of your credit card has been stolen and they are purchasing and they are showing that you are purchasing those items. Mail theft, your mail has been stolen. Phishing and spam attack. Phishing means fraudulent attempt to obtain sensitive information or sensitive information has been attempt to hacked, that is phishing and spam attack. Wi-Fi hacking, somebody wants to use your data through your Wi-Fi, that is Wi-Fi hacking. Mobile phone theft, the term is describing itself. ATM skipper, this may be a new term to you. So ATM skimmer is actually a card reader that can be disguised to look like part of an ATM. As part a card reader has been placed over there, you are using you ATM and you will find out that you will see, you will feel that this is a part of ATM, but actually it is scanning your card. And after that, somebody can replicate or counterfeit your cards. They can make replica of your ATM. Next is common ways our identity is used by others. So what are the common ways that our data has been stolen? The first one is credit card fraud. So nowadays we are using credit card very frequently. Most of the people are having credit card. So thieves may obtain a new credit card, getting blocked your original card and asking for a duplicate one. They will say that somebody will call you that we need your credit card information because your credit card will have to be changed. Just pass OTP to me. This is credit card fraud. Change your personal information. Thieves, after obtaining your sensitive information, may use it to change crucial information of you. They will change it. They will change the phone number. So OTP will go to other number. Phone or utilities fraud. So using your information, the thieves may get new cell phones or get some utility that requires such information. They will use those utility because the phone number has been changed. Next is bank and finance fraud. Thieves may take out loans for mortgages or a car in your name. So this will be a finance or bank fraud. Bank will give them loan just after feeling that actually you are purchasing it. Other fraud, just like they may use your personal ID to get variety of utilities. Most of the things, most of the process now needs identity, personal ID. For example, they will demand Aadhaar, they will demand PAN card, they will demand your voter ID, they will demand your driving license. So your personal IDs, most of the services are demanding your personal ID. So they may rob you over there. So how we can protect ourselves from identity theft? The first one is protect personal information. So provide personal information only when it is actually has to be provided. You must be aware that how your personal information is going to be used. When just make things certain that it won't be shared by the person, the website, the app. They are not going to share your personal information. You initiated contact and know you are dealing with. You must be aware that with whom you are sharing your personal information, what you are actually doing online, whether that particular thing is encrypted or not, whether they are using security aspects. The second is use unique IDs to protect your devices and accounts. We used to have PIN number, we used to have different security lock on our devices, we used to have different passwords. These all things come under unique IDs. Make your login and password information unique and difficult to break. Your password must not be simple, just like 12345 6, or your name, or your date of birth. It must not be simple, or your father name, mother name, brother name, sister name, your relative. So make your login and password information unique and difficult to break. You may follow following practices, just like avoid names, don't use any name, addresses. Some people use their car number as a password. So everybody is aware about your car number. Birth rate for passwords. And your birth rate, you are mentioning your birth rate at so many places. Make password that are hard to guess. Nobody can guess it. Your password must be just like that. Use proper mix of letters and characters. Capital letters, small letter, special characters, numbers. It should be a proper mix. Don't use same password for multiple accounts. For example, your one password has been hacked and you are using that particular password for everything you are having online. In that case, you will lose so many things by a single hacking aspect. Third is use biometric protection. You are aware about the things. For example, some places or in you have watched so many movies in which biometric was there. You are seeing these things in your daily routine, just like voice waves. And your voice may be a password to the ICT, to the different equipment, to different websites. So voice is different for every person. So voice wave can be a biometric protection. Hands, so size of hand and a shape of hand, that can be a biometric protection method. That we can use hands, size of hand, shape of hand metrics as a biometric. Earlobes, shape of our ear, it is also nowadays has been used as my biometric protection because shape of ear for every person is different. Retina pattern. So retina is a po- posterior part of eye. So this is a tissue. We used to have infrared rays to the eyes. We are putting infrared rays to eyes, and some of the light has been absorbed, some has been reflected. On the basis of that, we used to draw the retina pattern. And retina pattern of everybody is different. That's why it has been used as biometric protection. Iris is there. Iris is also a circular structure part of eye. So there are different colors of circular structure for eye pattern of people. So iris is also a unique structure for everyone. So it can also be used as a biometric pattern, a biometric protection. Shape of face. So face direction algorithm is there, face direction method is there. Your after watching your face, the things can be unlocked. So it is also a biometric protection method. So DNA, every DNA is different. So DNA structure and then blood in vein, that is also vein structure. It has been also used nowadays as a biometric protection. There are a number of metric which can be used as biometric protection. Actually, these are the physical metric of person. So we were discussing what type of biometric protection is there. Now the thing is that how we are using biometric here. So we used to have biometric, for example, finger scanning in our mobile phone. That is a biometric protection. So biometric information can also be misused. Thus, you should always make sure to not to overuse it. Use it only in places you are fully confident of and not any unreliable places. Don't use any other places. They will, for example, you are using fingerprint to unlock the things. Maybe somebody will take your fingerprint and things can be unlocked without your permission. So we were discussing that how we can stop identity theft, but we are aware that most of the time people are facing identity theft. So what they should do after identity theft? They must lodge an FIR. So first of all, contact our lender. For example, a bank is a lender. Notify them of the fraud. If it's a credit card account, freeze your card immediately. Register an FIR with the place, and after that, follow up with the lender. Follow up with your bank that the transaction who did those transactions from which place, what type of transaction that was. The next topic is gender and disability issue while teaching and using computers. So first of all, we will discuss gender issue. After that, we will go for disability. So gender issue means I really proud to say that now gender issue is not a big issue nowadays as compared to if we are comparing it from last 20 30 years, where before 20 30 years what was gender issues. Now gender issue has been, most of the cases have been resolved, but we are dealing it that we cannot say that this has been totally removed. This type of thing must not be there. So gender issue must not be there. So we are discussing gender issue here. So how and why gender issue is there? The first thing is preconceived notions. Preconceived notion that people are having preconceived notion that boys are better at technical things, girls are good at humanities, arts, girls must take up a career keeping in mind that they have to raise a family, they must not take up high involvement careers. Teaching is the best option for girls as it gives you half day off, an ample number of holidays. These things must not be there. We must not think in this manner. This is a preconceived notion. The second topic I must discuss it in discuss under a gender issue, that is lack of interest. But I want to say one thing, that things are changing very rapidly. So during primitive years, children often play games on computers and smartphones. Most games available today are boy-centric that increase their interest in computers. Also at home, boys get to play more on computer smartphone and develop more interest in computers than girls. So this can be a gender issue, that is lack of interest, because boys used to be more involved in use of technology. The lack of motivation is a third gender issue. So as I told you earlier that girls are pressurized to choose a career option which will give them work-life balance. In favor of family roles, they have to play later on. Girls are always told directly or indirectly in households that you have to play important family role later on, and indulging in a subject which will consume most of your time is not advisable, as no matter whatever job option you choose. And this must not be there. Girls must be motivated to choose their career. The next is a lack of role model. Girls these days see less of role models in the field of computer science whom they can imitate, they can copy, they can say that I want to be just like her. TV, movies, advertisement, everywhere it is portrayed that this technical field like computer science are man's field. If you are if you see a woman scientist in a team, there are 10 other scientists who are males. So we must evolve ourselves as a role model. Girls, you must evolve yourself as a role model. The next is lack of encouragement in class. I strongly oppose this particular topic that nowadays we are not consider difference between girls and boys. Teacher never discourage any girl. But this was the topic, this was the point which girls used to face 10 or 20 years before. So as there were less number of girls in a class, the teachers for most work assignment end up choosing more boys. So boys were good in numbers, that's why assignment has been given by boys. Assignment has been assigned to the boys. So now this is not an issue because now education is for everyone. The next gender issue, that is not girl friendly work culture. It has been observed that when in school work partners are chosen, boys prefer boys over girls, and even if the girl and a boy are made work partners, boys prefer to work actively and make girls silent observer. Boys are not comfortable in situations where they are not playing active roles. Don't consider that this is my opinion. This has been written in your box, and I must say that this is not a even idea of your writer. So different people give different opinion. They have been written in your books. As I told you that things are changing very rapidly. Now we don't find these type of things during our classes, during our work culture. So issue list and listed are not intentionally created, hence need a different type of handling. So by this particular statement, we want to say that there is a possible solution for these problems. So there should be more initiative program for girls who take computer subject. They must be motivated. Film and TV censor board should ensure fair representation of female role models in TV or cinema. Their TV or cinema, so many girls, so that more girls can encourage to take up computer science subject. In practical room, there should be more help and assistance. Family must support them. Family must encourage girls to opt computer science. The next topic is disability, which we are going to discuss here. The types of disability. First of all, what disability is there? So disability can be physically, mentally, and it may be uh, temporary, any temporary type of disability. So locomotor disability is there, the first type of disability in which just like polio is there, leprosy is there, and severe deformity is there. So this is a physical disability. So why we are discussing disability here is because we are having special children, which comes under the disabled category, and we must take care of those students. They are very special. They need our more attention. So we must create content for them. We must make our aids, teaching aid for them. They must be taught in such a manner that they will learn the things. Second type of disability is that hearing and speech disability. Just like hearing impairment is there, somebody is facing hearing impairment. Some student may have speech aphasia. They are having speech disability. Third is cognitive impairment, just like dyslexia, dyscalculia, Down syndrome, autism. These are the terms which we used to heard from so many people. These are the common term now. For example, dyscalculia is where student is facing problem in mathematics. Dyslexia, the student is not able to speak something, it's not able to learn something, and he's not able to speak, but he's a normal guy. Vision impairment, low vision, blindness. So these are type of disability and we must take care of the student. They are special one. So general disability issue is unavailability of teaching material aid. So this is a major issue that there is less teaching material for them. There is a less teaching aid for the disabled students. We must take care of this thing. We must make sophisticated virtual keyboard software. We must have joystick that is specific to the needs of the child. Programming editor must be there that will interface with the virtual keyboard and does not require any mouse movement. They just like low vision student, we have braille keyboard, braille monitor, braille printer, screen reader. We must have some teaching aid and teaching material for the special one. Lack of special needs teacher. So we must train our teachers to train our these special students. Lack of supporting curriculum. So the curriculum, there are less support to the curriculum. The curriculum has been decided for the student. So we must think about this. We must work on curriculum to support our special students. Possible solution can be that enough teaching aid must be prepared for specially able student. Since we can, these are the special one, so we must prepare some teaching aid for them. We must employ special need teachers, means we must train our teacher to help our specially able students. And curriculum should be designed with students with specially able student in mind. Whenever we are designing a new curriculum, we must think about our specially able student that it must help them. There must not be problem to understand this curriculum to specially able students. We must take care of the specially able student design curriculum. Thanks for being with me. Thank you so much.